Good. It's a little less moving around for me. Can we get those people over there and here? Because they're probably going to want to be a part of this as well. Very good. Okay, excellent. So we're happy to be back with Beat the Streets. We were over here. We did something with the girls' team before they went out to Fargo, and now we're back. We're happy to be with everyone, talking to the parents, to the coaches. It's really a great thing. And you guys should know, Ernie's a humble guy. You just heard technique and instruction from one of the best coaches in the nation. Probably even the world. He's been around the sport of wrestling for a long time. He was the first one to own to have a wrestling club in New Jersey. And it was called The Edge. We didn't know exactly what that was. We didn't know if it was competing with Cutco for knives or something like that. But all of a sudden we saw all of his guys were winning state titles and placing in the States. So you realize when people like this come to you, you got to listen to them. You got to take notes. So as soon as you leave here, that technique that he just showed you, you should be putting that in your phones or write it down on paper, put it in a notebook. Otherwise, what happens? We forget it. We talk to one of our friends, something happens, and we lose all that great information. You've got great instruction right now in technique. And if you don't write it down, it's going to be gone forever. So put it down on paper. That's key. Okay, so again, I'm Gene Zannetti, my brother Jeff Zannetti, wrestling mindset. It's holding the camera, it's all dark and handsome right back there. And started wrestling mindset. The big thing, wrestling, school, and life is very mental. What percentage would you say wrestling is mental versus physical? You have to say, what percentage, what? 50-50? 90. There's no exact answer for this. No exact answer. But people say 50-50, some people say 90%. Okay, so let's say wrestling and life is 50% mental. How much time are you training mentally versus physically, percentage-wise? 90? 0? How many people are thinking close to 0%? Say aye. No, you guys are doing a lot for your mindset? Mentally, how many of us are working our mindset on a regular basis? Not very many. So if we're saying the sport is between 50 and 90% mental, and we're putting almost all of our training in physically, do you see the problem there? I'm not a math guy. I don't know about you people, but I wasn't great at math. I was better at English, I was better at history. But I do know those two graphs don't go together. If we're saying the sport is 90% mental, we better be training a lot more mentally. And that's where we come in. Do we have the stick over there? I'd like to show some. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. What, you tripped over to this exact moment? Signs from God. All right, we need a volunteer to come up in front. You're good. Right here. No. Good. Come on up. My man's going to volunteer for everyone. Now pay attention. This is what we call the stick trick. Stick trick. What I want you to do is balance it on your finger. You see this part right here that's green? Just look at that the whole time. Hold up. Just look right down there at your hand the whole time. Good. Look down. Stop, right? Try again. Look right down there. Right at the gesture. Oh, one more time. Maybe third time is the charm.
Go, Mitchell.
Come on, let's talk it up.
Go, Mitchell.
Eagle. Right down there. Stop. Time. All right, now wait a minute. Now let's pause for a second. This is the problem with most people and how we approach things. My man's fine right here. He's not lacking any ability. We might think he can't do it. Maybe right now he even thinks he can't do it. But it's not the ability you're lacking. It's the strategy. It's focusing on the right thing. Watch what happens when you change your focus. Same guy. I didn't put some kind of magic spell on him. I want you to do it again. This time, look at the top. Aha! A little bit easier. A little bit easier. Give him the hands. One hand. Good. So what was the lesson you learned from that? I kind of gave it away. What was it? Was it he needed to get a lot better? He needed to practice more? Practice is very important. Practice is very important. You want to get stronger. You want to eat well. You want to get proper nutrition. But he didn't get any stronger. He didn't get any smarter. What did he do? He changed his focus. And what happens when we change our focus? A world of opportunities open to us. Slide that right down there. So that's the stick trick. And now you always remember that. Anytime you see a stick, a broom, or a mop, you just remember if you're focusing on certain things, you're not going to be as successful. If you're focusing on other things, you will be successful. So that's exactly the message we want to bring to coaches, to parents, to wrestlers, all around the country. And we work with some of the top teams in the country. We helped the women's Olympic team get ready for Rio. When Helen Maroulis won the Olympics this year, a lot of us know that. The first women's Olympic gold medalist from the United States, they called it the greatest wrestling moment for women in American wrestling history. That was a huge thing. We're happy to be a part of that. We've worked with Rutgers, Iowa State, Michigan, Maryland, Edinburgh, some of the top teams in the country. And what I can tell you is that they struggle with the same exact thing that we do. We were in your shoes not that long ago. We competed back in 2007, 2009. Maybe it seems like a long time from now. But we were in the same shoes as you. Our goal was the same thing. We want to win on the mat, be the best wrestler we can, and we want to succeed in life. I mean, is that not your goal? We're trying to be the best we can on the mat. We want to win as much as we can, and we want to succeed in life. That's all of us. So what I'm here to tell you is we have the same goals as you. And we could give you the strategies, teach you what to focus on that we weren't focusing on. Because when we were competing, we were focusing more down here. And we could teach you how to focus on the top. And that's going to change everything. When you have that life, the world of possibilities open up. Focusing on the right things, not focusing on the negatives. Staying away from the negatives that our friends are doing. So we have the same goals as you. That's a big thing to remember right off the bat. Next, it's very important that we know what we're focusing on in terms of how we train our mind. Training our mind is not what we're doing here when you think of listening to me speak. There's no training going on right here. You have to look at training. What did you do after Coach showed you moves? You're one of the best technical coaches in the world. Just show you technique. What did you do after that? You practiced it. The training came when you practiced it. What about with strength training? Some of you lift weights, do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, right? Okay, do you think about doing the push-ups? Or do you get on the ground and actually do the push-ups? Do the push-ups. So it's the same thing with our mind. Listening to me is not the mindset training. It's when we give you these different exercises, these different mindset activities, do those things. I'll be giving you some things you can be doing. A lot of us, or we'll be working with a lot of your teams, and a lot of you individually. So make sure the coaches know this is something you want to do. We formed this partnership now with Beat the Streets. We're going to be helping a lot of you, like I said, in wrestling and in life. And it's doing the things that we're telling you with the mindset. We're going to give you the mindset push-ups. We're going to give you the mindset drilling. It's just a matter of doing it. Just listening to me, you know how much you're going to remember just by listening to someone? 5%. When you're listening to someone, you're not taking notes, 5% you're going to remember. That's why I came in right away, kind of guns blazing a little bit, saying make sure you take the notes on what Coach just showed you. It's the same thing with this. Make sure you take notes on all this. And again, be a better wrestler and succeed in life. We're in a sport where there's no professional wrestling. Well, there is, like WWE. Unless you're going to be Hulk Hogan or Macho Man or something like that, but you're probably not going to. There's no professional wrestling. And I was very blessed when I was your age, not too long ago, to have a coach that reminded me of that. He said, wrestling has to be a vehicle to improve your life. And I'm going to say that again because that's very important. Wrestling has to be a vehicle to improve your life. So if you get really good at wrestling, if you become an Olympic champ, and you don't learn any lessons from that for school, for your future careers, you wasted your time. And that's a sad thing. So use wrestling as a vehicle to improve your life. Again, we're very blessed to have a coach who had that attitude that helped us tremendously. So college. And to me, that's a bigger deal than our state champions. That's a bigger deal than our national champions. That's a bigger deal than our Olympic team, our All-Americans. When we see these wrestlers we've been working with that are doing our program just like this, they're going on to college. We know they're going to be getting a better future. That education, that's everything. When we see these wrestlers not only going to college, but becoming better people, getting involved in their church, giving back to people in the community, that's the real success. There's no professional wrestling, so we have to learn these lessons and apply them to make us better as people. We're going to help you win on the mat. Believe me, I know you want to win out there when you're competing. We're going to help you with that. But just remember, this wrestling is a metaphor for our entire lives. Confidence is confidence. Whether we're on the wrestling mat, whether we're taking the SATs, you're going to have to do that, going on to college. Job interviews in the future, you're going to be on job interviews in the future. And if you're confident, you're more likely to get the job. You're more likely to do better in your SATs. You're more likely to win that wrestling match. So learning these lessons, mindset, getting that mind right, wrestling, school, and life. It's never just wrestling. Anything I say is never just wrestling. Always apply to the big picture. Relaxing under pressure. Many of you get nervous before your matches. I was like that. Who's watching me? What if I win? What if I lose? I'm going against one of the best wrestlers in the state. How many of us have been there before? Oh, pretty much everyone who got nervous before. It's a big match. What if I lose? That kind of stuff. We're guilty of it. So we're going to help you with that. But that relaxing under pressure is the same thing. How's that different than when you're taking a test? You're sitting there taking the test. A lot of us don't like those multiple choices, right? We're like, oh boy, what if I don't do well? My parents are going to kill me. My teachers are going to yell at me. What if I don't get into college? We're going to be thinking these kind of things. Relaxing under pressure in a match. Relaxing under pressure when we're taking a test. And then eventually in that job interview. So it's your whole life here. It's your whole life. And honestly, if you're using wrestling as a vehicle to make your life better, that's how we make America great again. That's really how America becomes great, by you people taking the next step and really making things as well as possible, as strong as possible, academically, athletically, socially, spiritually. Be the total package. Okay, so now we're going to cut into a little bit of a lesson here. We're going to get a little more entertaining for you. So, when I was in college, I took a class called Animal Behavior. Don't laugh, it was a tough class, Animal Behavior. And we found there are two types of animals in the animal kingdom. Two types of animals, predator and prey. How can you tell the difference between a predator and a prey just by looking at them? Yes? Their eyes. Give them a hand. Good. One hand. Good. Excellent. Eyes. Think about predator animals. Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my. Where are their eyes located? On the front of their head or on the side? Front. Prey. The predator animal is focused on their prey. They're focused on their objective. Eyes on the front, like to hunt. Now think about prey animals. Squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits. Go ahead. What is it? Right, so where are their eyes? On the side of their head. Eyes on the side, like to hide. Say it. Eyes on the side, like to hide. Right, you like that, huh? Cute little rhyme right there. Yeah, I pulled it up on you. Hey, I got to do my homework, just like you got to do your homework. If I'm going to speak in front of a group of people, I better have a couple jokes, otherwise forget about it, right? So I got to do my homework also, even though I'm out of school. Right, eyes in the front, like to hunt. Eyes on the side, like to hide. And we just said it. Why is it the prey have to have their eyes on the side? We just said it because we're focusing on what's going on around us. We're looking at the predator, right? So, what does this have to do with you as a wrestler? What does that have to do with the coaches? What does that have to do with the parents? And what does that have to do with me? So all of us in this room, you have to identify, are you a predator or are you a prey? Look in the mirror. Every day when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror. Where are your eyes? On the front of your head or on the side? What? Front or the side? Front. How many people here have eyes in the front of their head? Not every coach? Everyone in this room. Okay, put your hands down. Everyone in this room has their eyes in the front of their head. Now I'm going to get a little serious with you, okay? Because we're going to laugh, but we're also going to get serious. We all have eyes in the front of our head. We're all born predators. Now we need to start acting like it. It's time to step up and start acting like it. Coaches, myself, wrestlers, parents, we've got to start acting like predators. What does that mean? That means we're not focused on what our friends are doing. In wrestling, we're not looking at the rankings. I was guilty of this. When I was your age, I'd always look at the rankings. How good is the kid on wrestling? Right? Oh, they placed in the States last year. Who's watching me? There's a pretty girl in the stands. I want to look good. Right? We think these funny things. Think about it. Is that predator mentality or is that prey mentality? Why? What am I focused on? Everything going on around me. If I think, this kid beat me last year, is that predator or prey? Prey. If I'm looking at that bracket at the tournament, and I say, man, I have 3 ranked guys in the state, or 3 ranked girls in the state, you know, predator or prey? Prey. If I'm thinking, what if my friends laugh at me? What if I have to hear it from parents or coaches after the match? Predator or prey? Prey. If I lose a match, and now I'm in the wrestlebacks, I'm in the consolations, I'm still mad about my last loss. Is that predator or prey? Prey, because we're focusing on all the crap going on around us. We're not thinking about the present moment. So now I'm going to teach you how to think like a predator. There's 3 things that are under your control. And this is still coaches, this is still parents, this is me, and it's you as the wrestlers. 3 things under our control. Our effort, our attitude, and our aggressiveness. And I'll relate each one of these to wrestling, to school, and your life. Your effort, your attitude, and your aggressiveness. I better see you take notes on this after I leave you. Very important. Our effort. At every moment of your life. You, me, the coaches, the parents, you have a choice to make. Am I going to go all out, or am I going to hold back? Are you going to go all out, or are you going to hold back? When you're in practice, you're running around the room, you're doing your drills, are you going to go all out, or are you going to hold back? Right here, I'm speaking to you. I gave the same exact speech, probably, honestly, about 13 or 14 times in the past 2 weeks. Am I going to go all out, or am I going to hold back? Am I going to say, oh, here we go, predator and prey again, just kind of go through the motions and take it easy? I got to go all out. Are you going to go all out or hold back? Are you going to listen to me? Are you going to pay attention? Or are you going to be thinking about something else? Same thing with the coaches, same thing with the parents. Am I going to go all out or am I going to hold back? In school, are you going to pay attention to the teacher? Or are you not going to pay attention? Are you going to study for the test? Are you going to do the reading? Or are you not going to do it? If I'm thinking, the teacher says, read chapter 5 and 6. None of my friends do the reading. Is that predator or prey mindset? Why is that prey mindset? What am I focusing on? Friends, stop giving a crap what your friends are doing. That's soft. That's weak. That's not being the predator. If everyone in the class is joking around and not paying attention to the teacher, what does that have to do with you? Be the predator. Eyes on the front, like to hunt. And then, you know, your personal beliefs, your faith. Oh, none of my friends pray. None of my friends go to church. What does that have to do with you? It has nothing to do with you. And I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you that what's important to you, it doesn't matter what people around you are doing. If you're in school and everyone's picking on this poor kid, bullying, calling them names, do you jump in with them? Do you jump in or do you say, why? That's prey mentality. Because I want to look good in front of my friends, I want to look cool. Stop being soft. That's weak. That's being a squirrel or a chipmunk. That's not being a predator. The predator would stand up for the person. I'm not saying get into a fight, but the predator is going to stand up for what's right. The predator is not going to look around at everyone in the room. Wrestling, school, and life. Being a predator. All right, now I need a volunteer. I'll use you now. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to talk about, again, effort. Effort. That's the topic. So what I want to do here, let's, I guess we'll do it over here. I can use you too. Come on up. What I want you to do here is go up against the wall. I want you to reach up as high as you possibly can. Here's what you're going to do. Right over here. You can stand up and stand very hard. Reach up as high as you possibly can. Get up there. Get up as high as you can. All right, now mark his finger at the highest point. Put your finger there. Good. Okay, take a look. Now, is that as fast as you can do? Yeah. Okay, so right here, my man right here thinks he's maxed out. He reached as hard as he possibly could. Did you? You went as best? That was your best? Now, what I want to show you is that if you have a big enough reason why, you'll find out how. You'll figure out how to do it. And you can do more than you believe you can do. Right now, he thinks that's the very best he can do. Well, guess what? Now we pull out the $20 bill. What I'd like you to do is put that up. I'm jumping. What I'd like you to do now, if you could reach higher in that spot, this $20 bill is yours. Wait a minute. You as long as
Wait, that's 20?
Can't jump.
Jump.
That's it.
Heard the bro. Hey, Kippy Cub. Nah, do it over.
You see how he's got his hands up higher? Go ahead, sit down.
No, wait, that's a 20.
Now,
If one messes up, we all mess up, right?
what else are we learning now? We're learning that fortune favors the bold. It means take chances because a lot of times it pays off. He thought he was maxed out. He thought he couldn't reach any higher. And then what happened? Once he had a reason why, he found a way to do it. So that's another thing I'm here to tell you is that you're capable of a life much stronger than that. I want to make a difference on people's lives. That's what gets me over here. That's what makes me want to come out. That's what makes me, not afraid of hitting massive rush hour traffic on the way home. That's speaking to you right now. Some of the things I say to you, you're going to listen to, you're going to learn, and you'll be able to apply this to wrestling, to school, and to life. I want to see you all have the lessons that I didn't have when I was your age. That's my why. And that's what gets me fired up. That's what makes me want to work hard in business. And so all of you have to have a powerful reason why. What's your reason why? Why are you going to go all out in wrestling, in school, and in life? I'm not saying money's bad. That could be part of it. To have a better life than we have now, to make a difference in other people's lives, to help change the world, to make the world a better place. Have a strong why. So your effort is completely under your control. Wrestling, school, and life. You choose at every moment of every day, am I going to go all out or am I going to hold back? Number two, your attitude. Your attitude. I talk about this constantly. Being stubbornly positive and optimistic. I'm not telling you to be stubborn, but I'm saying to be positive and to be optimistic. Now that sounds kind of corny, right? Hey, let's all hold hands and let's sing songs and, we're kind of like that. It seems like kind of weak. Being positive is tough. When you're around people who are complaining and being negative and you don't do well on a test, you don't do well in a wrestling match, maybe people are making fun of you in school, and you stay positive. You keep doing the right thing. Someone's making fun of you, and you don't fight back. You stand up for what you believe in. You do the right thing. That's staying positive. You have a bad match, you don't throw your headgear. You shake your hand like a grown woman or man. You be an adult about it. That's tough to do. You wrestle a couple bad matches. You fail a test. Do you give up? Or do you keep going? Right? It's happened before. We take a test and we say, oh, maybe I'm not good enough to be in college. I thought about that stuff too when I was your age. Staying positive. Your attitude is so important. And why is it important to be positive? I need another volunteer.
Antonio, go.
Go ahead, come on up.
You give my money that.
All right, here, you sit down, okay? I'm going to use volunteer. So I like to have one guy, one girl. I like to have one guy, one girl. Okay, so I asked the whole group, how many people want this $20 bill?
I want to go to college for free. That's
let's stop. Now, I want to show you this. This is important. Now, okay, I know we're flashing money around and stuff, but the important thing is I want you to please understand the message I'm giving. The message is the most important thing. If I take this $20 bill, you want this, right? Take this? Okay. Now watch what I'm going to do to this.
Rip it.
Crumbled up. What was that? Okay. Why? What? I heard it over here. Listen up. This is the important part of the lesson. Why do you still want it? Because what? It still has the same value as before. This crumbled up $20 bill looks like crap right now. It's still worth the same as it was before. Now what if I do this and I throw it on the mat? Let's kick it around. That might have ringworm on it. Might have ringworm on it now. You still want the 20? Why? Now it's not only is it crumpled up, it's on a mat that might have all kinds of stuff on it. It still has the same value. Listen up. I'm not finished. How many people in this room would still want that $20 bill? Okay, how about this?
What if JoJo was here? JoJo was supposed to, right?
How many people still want the $20 bill? Okay, silence. Why? Why do you still want the $20 bill? It's crumpled up. It's crumpled up. It's on the dirty mat. And I just stomped on it with the bottom of my foot. I don't know what I stepped in on the way over here. I don't know. Why do you want it still? It's still worth $20. You're still taking the $20 bill? Then the $20 bill is yours. There it is. So here's the lesson. Now let me get serious on you now. Because now you have no idea what I'm going to pull out. You have no idea. All right. So here's where we're at. Okay. You'd still take the $20 bill after it was crumpled up, after it was dirty, after it tasted the bottom of my shoe, because it still had, this is what you call value. It had intrinsic value. We didn't change the value of the $20 bill. What does that have to do with you as a wrestler? The same exact, what does that have to do with you as a student? What does that have to do with you in life? That no matter how much crap you've been through in life, no matter how many people have made fun of you, no matter what background you come from, what kind of family life you come from, no matter what, how bad you did in school before, no matter how many mistakes you made in the past, no matter how many times you lost, no matter how many tests you did poorly on, you're worth a lot more than that $20 bill. Right? Wouldn't you say your life is worth a heck of a lot more as a $20 than a $20 bill? I believe that as a Catholic. I believe that as a person. That each person in this room, everyone here, is worth a heck of a lot more than that $20 bill. So no matter what happened to you in life, you still have the same value. You have incredible value inside you. Don't ever forget that. That you would still take that $20 bill, even if it was all messed up. So why do we put ourselves down when we make mistakes? Why do we put ourselves down when we fail a test? When people make fun of us? Or, oh, my friend has a lot more than I have. My friend's family has more money than mine. My friend's family is nicer than mine, or whatever. We don't put ourselves down like that. That's a very important lesson. You all have intrinsic value, and you have to believe it. You have to live that way. Wrestling, school, and life. It's not just a wrestling match. Wrestling, it's like we keep losing a bunch of matches. Maybe you're 0-10 this year. You could still be really good. You could still do really well next year. I was 7-10 as a freshman in high school. I won my wrestle off 0-0 in double overtime. So I was lucky to even wrestle as a freshman. And then my senior year, I was 39-1. I took third in the state of New Jersey. But I didn't start off third place in the state. I started off at the bottom, 7-10, losing record. And then in college, hey, I'm coming into college. I took third in the state of New Jersey. It's a really good state. I'm thinking I'm going to do really well. Guess my record was freshman year. 8-9. 8-9. And the only reason why I got to wrestle is because the starter got hurt. I lost the wrestle-offs 10-2. Beat down, right? And what happened? Then in college, you keep working hard, and eventually, me, my brother Greg, my brother Jeff, our youngest brother Greg, we all wound up being nationally ranked college wrestlers. We were all Ivy League wrestlers at the University of Pennsylvania. But you don't start off that high. Sometimes you start off with a lot of losses. It happens. We were just talking about Jeff as one of his first tournaments in college. He had 2 losses his junior and senior year of high school. He was 3rd in the state and 2nd in the state. He was one of the best guys in the state. And then his freshman year, he lost really bad the first tournament. And he kept getting better, and eventually became all Ivy League, ranked in the top 20 in the country. But it's just not quitting. Intrinsic value. You have that value, and you can get better. You just have to believe it. And number 3 is your aggressiveness. Aggressiveness, when I say that in wrestling, school, and life, it means stepping up. It's being adults. It's being women. It's being men. Don't look around like being like a kid, like your friends are. If you need help in school, you ask for it. You tell the teacher, I'll come in early. I'll stay late. In practice, it means you tell the coaches, it's like, I want to learn more. I want to come in for extra work. When you're wrestling matches, you don't hold back. You go after your opponent. You be a predator. If I'm thinking, watch your double leg. Watch your double leg. If I know my opponent is really good double, is that thinking like a predator or prey? Why? Because I'm worried about them. What should I be thinking? What's your number 1 takedown? Swing single, that's what you should be thinking. Even if you're wrestling Jordan Burroughs and you step on that line with him, you should be thinking about your swing single, not his double leg. That's how you be aggressive in a match. It's more important. I have wrestlers, parents, and coaches that come up to me all around the country and they say, my kid's afraid of losing, or my kid's not aggressive in a match. And I tell them all the same thing. Being aggressive in wrestling has to be more important to you than winning or losing. What? Did I say that right? I did. Being aggressive has to be more important than winning or losing. If you have that attitude, you're going to be tough to beat. Look at the greatest warriors of all time. You ever see the movie 300? Right? The Spartans, the samurai, the Aztecs, the Apache, the U.S. military, the Navy SEALs, the Green Berets. We have two of our wrestlers. They're attending the service academies now, and they're both at the U.S. Military Academy. We're real proud of that. Again, that's what I'm saying about being contributing members to society, doing great things with their life. The Vikings, right? All these great warriors, what do they have in common? Two things. They know what they believe, and two, they're willing to die for it. They know what they believe, and they're willing to die for it. Now, in wrestling, you're not going to die. Okay, the worst case scenario is we lose, we get upset, we're mad, we cry, we live to fight another day. These great warriors, 300, Spartans, samurais, Aztecs, U.S. military, they go into battle, they come out, or they don't come out at all. All right? That could be the end of their life. But what do they have? They know what they believe, they're willing to die for it. So, if they have that, if they could get over that fear of death, we could get over that fear of losing. Being aggressive, you have to go after it. That's the key. Aggressiveness is key. And as we saw, the people who volunteered, as people volunteered, you get rewarded very often. Very often. Not always, but you often get rewarded. So being aggressive. When the teacher asks for a volunteer in class, shoot your hand up right away. Don't think about it. If you think about it, you're not going to do it. I don't know if I want to volunteer. Shoot your hand up right away. Be the volunteer. If there's a way to help out in your community, at your school, be the volunteer. That's being aggressive. Those are the type of people that get good jobs. Those are the people that get into colleges and get into good colleges. Those are the people who succeed in wrestling. The worst soldier to go against in battle is the guy who says, hey, I'm not afraid to die. I'm going to be aggressive. Right? I don't want to go against that soldier. So that's the type of wrestler you need to be on the mat. I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to make mistakes, but I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to shoot 10 times against this person. When I'm on top, I'm going to look for my cradle. I'm going to look for my arm bar. I'm going to look for my tilts. Going all the way with it. Don't hold back. So, what are the three things in our control? To think like a predator, what are they? Attitude, effort, and aggressiveness. That's something I really want you to write down when we leave here. Effort, attitude, and aggressiveness. It's completely under your control. All the other nonsense going on around you is prey mindset. It's prey mentality. Don't focus on your friends. A lot of your friends, I'm sure you see it now. People doing things they shouldn't be doing. Drinking, smoking, staying up late, drugs, and a lot of things. A lot of things. Do you say to yourself, thinking like a predator or prey? All my friends are doing this. All my friends are drinking. Is that prey or predator mindset? Prey. That's soft. That's soft. Remember, you're warriors. You're lions. You're sharks. You got to act like all your friends could be doing the wrong stuff. They could be hanging out with a bad crowd. Be the one person in your group that thinks like a predator. You choose. That's your choice. Are you going to be the lion, the tiger, the bear? Or are you going to just join the pack of those little squirrels and chipmunks? That's the decision you make. Am I going to be positive? Are you going to do your homework? Are you going to attend your class? Or are you going to skip school because other people are skipping school? That's thinking like a predator. So your effort, your attitude, and your aggressiveness are directly under your control. Does that all make sense to everyone? A lot of information. We hit on a lot of different topics. If there's any questions from parents, from coaches, or from you guys and gals, I'm happy to answer them. I just keep talking. I would write shorter speeches, but once I get started, I get too lazy to stop. I got a phone. You didn't tap me. All right, what do we have here?
We got some spare paper and pen.
All right, we'll have to do that after. All right. Yeah, so again, what I'd recommend with our mindset program, we're going to be working with a lot of your teams and the coaches are going to organize who's going to be individually working with our mindset program. So if this is something that you're interested in, like we said, being aggressive, talk to the coaches because we already have it all worked out. We're going to be working with some of you individually to really help you get to the next level. But again, I appreciate your time. You gave up time to be here, to get better, and to learn. So let's keep that journey going. Effort, attitude, and aggressiveness. Let's think like predators. All right, let's get up against the back wall. Take a picture. Up, on your feet. Get started, cramping up now.
Oh, yo, what's up? My name Brandon.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you after. Let me double check.